So for hydrogen atom, if you are calculating the value of E1, so E1 is the energy of the electron in the first orbit, then that will be equal to minus 13.6 into the value of Z for the hydrogen atom is 1 square, and by the first orbit the value of N is 1, because En is equal to minus 13.6 into Z square by N square electron volt per atom. This is the formula used to calculate energy of the electron. That will be equal to minus 13.6 electron volts. And E2 for the hydrogen atom is minus 13.6 by 4. That will be equal to minus 3.4 electron volts. If you are calculating the value of E3, then that will be minus 13.6 by 3 square, that will be equal to 9. That will be equal to the value you can get as minus 1.5 electron volts. And for E4, minus 13.6 by 16, that will be equal to 0.8, minus 0.8 electron volts. That means for hydrogen atom, if I am moving from E1 to E2, energy increases. E2 to E3, still energy increases. E3 to E4, still energy increases. If I am going to take the difference in between E2 and E1, then you can get 10.2 electron volts. That is a huge energy difference in between E1 and E2. And if I am going to take in between E3 and E2, then that will be equal to 1.9 electron volts. And if I am going to take the energy difference in between E4 and E3, then you can get 0.7 electron volts. That means if I am moving away from the nucleus, the energy difference in between the two consecutive orbits is going to decreases. That means E2 minus E1 is larger when compared to E3 minus E2 when compared to E4 minus E3 when compared to E5 minus E4. But on moving away from the nucleus, the distance between the consecutive orbits is going to increases. That means R2 minus R1 is less when compared to R3 minus R2 when compared to R4 minus R3. That means on moving away from the nucleus, the consecutive energy difference decreases, but the consecutive distance between the successive orbits is going to increases. So likewise, if I am going to calculate the energy of the electron in the nth orbit, that will be taken as 0. Here it is n is the orbit number which is located at the infinite distance. That means E infinity of the hydrogen-like species can be taken as 0. That means moving away from the nucleus, the total energy of the electron is going to increases. Potential energy also increases, but on moving away from the nucleus, the kinetic energy of the electron is going to decrease, because the velocity of the electron moving around the nucleus is going to decreases as the n value increases. Because v decreases, that means the kinetic energy is a function of the velocity of mv square. V decreases, that's why k decreases, and k decreases but potential energy increases. The sum of potential and kinetic energy, the result of the total energy, is going to increases.